What if I told you there was a time when seeing one mech on the enemy team was enough to make players lose hope? A mech that didn't need the highest damage. A mech that didn't need the strongest armor. All it needed was one ability, and the battle was already in its favor. That mech was Hemlock. Today we're looking at the complete story of Hemlock, how it became one of the most feared mechs in Mech Arena, why almost every competitive player wanted it, and how its reign eventually came to an end. Before Hemlock arrived, the meta was simple. Players focused on raw damage, mobility, and survivability. Mechs like Shot, Panther, Bastion, and Surge dominated because they could either deal massive damage or control key areas of the map. Then Plarium introduced something completely different. Instead of creating another damage-focused mech, they released a support mech with an ability that could completely shut down enemy players. At first, many players ignored it. Some even believed Hemlock would never become meta because its damage wasn't impressive compared to other legendary mechs. But within a few days, everything changed. As more players unlocked Hemlock and experimented with its ability, they realized just how powerful it really was. Its ECM Shot wasn't just another skill. It could interrupt enemy attacks, leave opponents helpless for several seconds, and create the perfect opportunity for teammates to finish them off. In Mech Arena, just a few seconds are enough to decide an entire battle. If Hemlock disabled you at the wrong moment, there was almost nothing you could do. Imagine fighting for a control point. Your team is pushing, everyone has their abilities ready. Suddenly, a Hemlock appears from behind cover. It fires its ECM Shot. Your entire push falls apart. Before you recover, the enemy team has already taken control. Moments like these became common. Players quickly realized Hemlock wasn't just strong. It was changing the way Mech Arena was played. Soon, competitive players began adding Hemlock to almost every hangar. YouTube creators called it one of the strongest legendary mechs ever released. Tournament players built entire strategies around protecting Hemlock and using its ability at the perfect moment. For months, Hemlock sat at the top of the meta, but the stronger Hemlock became, the louder the community's complaints grew. Players argued that the mech had too much control over every fight and that its ability left almost no room for counterplay. The developers finally responded with a major balance update. Hemlock's day's duration was reduced from 7 seconds to 6 seconds. The ECM Shot cooldown was increased from 10 seconds to 16 seconds, and its duration implant was also weakened. These nerfs completely changed how Hemlock was played. It could no longer keep enemies locked down as often, and players now had more opportunities to fight back. For the first time since its release, Hemlock was no longer untouchable. Its rise had been incredible. But this nerf marked the beginning of its fall, and from that moment on, the king of crowd control would never be the same again. This gives you a strong ending that naturally leads into part 2, where you can show gameplay before and after the nerf and explain how the meta changed.